This is a really cool neon sign, folks. It's made by the Paris company here in Kansas City. Obviously, it's working all the way. This purple and the blue obviously needs to be in a dark space. Good size piece, great for a man cave or a bar or a club or a lounge space. Beach volleyball would be really cool. But anyways, just neat piece and excited to offer it. We're really excited to offer the Bruce Bettender Art Collection auction along with the Paulina Everett collection that's in this auction. But let's start with this big piece right here because we don't turn it off. But it's an early James Woodfill light sculpture, and it's just a really fun thing. He's got the switch hooked up in this mechanism here that's obviously making this, giving it this circular image look to it. Um, a really neat installation, something you're not going to find in any, find in the market very often. Obviously, it's working all the way, and we're pretty excited to offer it. I want to turn it off though because the strobe is a little much and the noise is a little much. Behind it, we have this James Joe Froshi um, mural, not mural, collage. Thank you, Will. Really interesting piece. It looks like it was donated to an art auction that Bruce bought from there. Bruce obviously was a patron of the arts here in Kansas City. There were several artists he supported very strongly. You'll be able to see that as we go through. And this is just one of the pieces in the collection that's pretty interesting. A lot of interesting little doodads in there. Scrolling over this way to your right, Will. He was that okay? But he also owned a company that could print high quality images. He could take old images and reprint them in a high quality way in any size that he wanted to. And these were things that were in the warehouse, and we just thought they were really fun. And so we included in this auction as well. This is obviously an image of downtown Nebraska, some city in Nebraska, Nebraska Clothing Company there. Just a neat thing. There's a lot of other city images, a lot of Kansas City. There's the Missouri Grand Lodge, Knights of Pythias. Again, these are all reproductions of antique pictures, but they're really just kind of fun pieces for decor. He loved Alan Winkler. They were really good friends, and there's several Winkler pieces in the auction, including this amazing drawing that is obviously huge. I mean, I can't even reach the top of it. So it gives you an idea. A lot of the works in this auction are oversized. So if you have a loft, a big gallery space, a corporate office that you need interesting artwork for, this is an auction you don't want to miss because these kind of big pieces sometimes don't keep it up so high because a person with an 8-foot ceiling is not going to want this in their home or have a space for it. They'll want it, but they won't have a space for it. But this is a great Winkler. It's graphite and ink. 2 panels of paper in there, but just I love that all of the houses look like faces, which is something Alan was really known for. He did the cereal box faces. He did all kinds of sculpture like that, and pretty interesting things right there. There are quite a few old vintage posters in the auction. There's more upstairs. We'll talk about those up there. This is interesting. So Alan Winkler came into the gallery this morning to kind of clarify a few things and stuff like that. This is a Mary Jo Dawson, and he said she made this when she was his girlfriend, and they were living together, and she was making this one. There's Kansas City iconography, like the Western Auto Arrow is here. It looks like the Power and Light building, the original one. But I also think she's from Indianapolis, so I think there's other buildings. I think it's just a kind of a generic downtown scene with some Kansas City pieces in it, and I think pieces from other areas where she'd lived. This all cut out paper like a big silhouette, and again, it's taller than I am. It's close to 7 feet tall, 6.5 feet tall or so, and it looks like it's wider than that. So it's again really big, really exciting, and a pretty neat thing. A lot of neat imagery inside this big image. Here is a huge Alan Winkler cutout. Somebody told me they thought this one specifically hung in the old Shiraz restaurant down on the boulevard, which was one of our favorite restaurants back in the day. But Alan said that what he used for this is like backdrop paper for photography, and he made these big cutout images. Again, the work that took, I don't know how, I didn't even ask him how long it would take to make this. But again, another really interesting piece. Um, I love the black any color ball behind it. It'd be a lot of fun. You see the first of our Paulina Everetts. There are 80 to 100 Everett pieces in the auction. These all our consignor got these directly from Paulina's estate when it was dispersed many, many years ago. A lot of loose watercolors, but there's some oils and others as well. But again, check out the catalog for that. Well, let's go ahead and head upstairs to the rest of the auction. And as you're coming up, if you catch a glimpse of the showcases, that's what's coming up in our next antique auctions. But the artwork in this auction is pretty interesting. That's what we're here for today. And this isn't really a piece of artwork here, but it's one of the more interesting pieces in the auction. It's an article, 1960s redo, but it has an Andy Warhol signature. So Kansas City Star magazine or Kansas City Star newspaper article with the legit Andy Warhol signature. Kind of a fun piece. Working this way, again, the word of this auction is oversized. These are both Jean Pushchek pieces, and just, I mean, William is close to 20 feet away from me to get the whole thing in the picture. Really neat, mixed media assemblage piece up here with the painting, and then it looks like a shirt laid on there that he painted on top of as well. And then this really big, colorful piece here. Again, these would be great for the right corporate environment. A big loft space, great colors, great size, great scale. Just a lot of fun. And again, just neat things. And there are some smaller pieces. Of course, Bruce collected a wide variety of artwork. I'm not sure who did the pineapple robot. We'll figure that out. And there's a lot of things in this auction we haven't been able to identify yet. These were all in the warehouse that the family owned. And some of the things were identified, some are signed, but others are not. The robot is not, we haven't been able to identify that yet, but hopefully we can. Or if you know, please let us know. The face plate is the first of the Alan Winkler porcelain or pottery piece in the auction. And it's kind of a neat little decorative object there. And this is from Charles Craft's Villa Delirium series. He made weapons into art with porcelain. And this is the Uzi, obviously. It's in the original fitted case with the book from the show. Some really interesting pieces over here. And I'm going to look at my list here because I don't remember all of the artists. These two down here are both John Pushchek. The piece over here in the far right is a Mike Randall piece. There's several Mike Randall pieces in the auction. Mike was a good friend of Bruce's. Mike actually reached out to us and clarified a couple of issues with his works and gave us information on who the other pieces were. This is a David Kennedy portrait. I think it's of Bruce. Kind of a neat piece right there. This painting here is a Jane Norton. We sold several pieces of his in a recent auction. A lot of people in town like his work. Just really graphic and interesting and very distinctive. If you like his work, oh, it's a horse's ass. Kind of funny. This piece right here is a Christina Vanciu. Just kind of a fun framed, again, mixed media assemblage, all kinds of fun things going on. And this right here is an Albert Reed ink and watercolor, kind of a nice thing. I'm going to step behind the showcase here because this is where the majority of the Paulina Everett works are. You can see they're all loose. There's only a couple that are framed from that collection. But just, she's such an iconic Kansas City artist. We all know who she was. We've all seen her works over the years, but to see this many in one place is really unusual, and we're excited to have that in the auction. There are several pieces by, well, the big piece there to Will's right is a Vince Rourke. There's a couple of those works by him in the auction. He was a self-taught artist here in town. And that's just, again, a nice, big, interesting work that would be great in many settings. And I'm having a hard time finding. I've got the catalog printed so I can kind of get the names. I don't remember all the artists, but this one here is a Martha Schneikert, and there are several pieces by her in the auction. including this one here. She was pretty well known, and obviously Bruce knew her, but there's not a lot of information about her online, which is a bit surprising for as much as he bought of hers. You'd have thought there had been others who were intrigued by her work as well. This one here is a Sandra Lee McAllister Engstrom pastel of a loft interior. There's a couple of works by her in the auction. Pretty nice, interesting pieces there. As William backs up, and I'll follow through, this here on top of the bookcase is another Ellen Winkler cutout. There are pictures, obviously, but it's rolled up. It's not framed. So just a neat piece. Great imagery on that. But you see how little room they can take up, but how much room they need to take up when they're laid out is completely different. Some interesting photography, some decent Japanese wood blocks, another push check. This is kind of a fun piece right here. Mike, is it Galaski? Randall Galaska, I think. Yeah, Randall Galaska. He made pieces out of found art or found wood, and this is one of those in brick hole in the wall. Kind of fun. We're going to put that in the showcase over there so it's lit up really well. Let's see how that looks like in here. It'll look a lot better, I am sure. Lean it against the wall so it doesn't fall. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Oh yeah, that'll get cut. Although I don't think anybody's going to think I was trying to actually sing that. This is a cool drawing. Obviously, two pieces of paper that have shifted in the frame. Again, this is one of the pieces in the auction that we do not know who did it. If you know as you're watching, we'd love you to comment below or send us a message. Just because we want the artists to have the recognition they deserve. They put their time and effort into this, and we'd like to be able to recognize who did that. Some more of the oversized prints, old Kansas football team, and I think that's the plaza. Kind of fun stuff here. Along the top of the gallery up here, in the main gallery space, is the majority of the poster collection. Travel posters, Russian era. The Siete Samurai is a really fun poster. Victorian Destruction Total de Fascismo. The Loretta Exotic Dancer is a fun one as well. The Invaders from Mars. I love the tagline. A nightmarish answer to the Wizard of Oz. So for all you Wizard of Oz collectors here in Kansas and Missouri, that's a piece you probably don't have and don't even know it existed, but it mentions the Wizard of Oz right on the top. And the Superbug Nixon poster is pretty fun and interesting as well. Back to the works on the wall here. This is a really neat, interesting piece right here. A Mike Rainier. It's titled Reasons to Be Cheerful. Just a fun, just joyous expression on that young boy's face. And just a great, great image, great piece. And this is big, but it will fit into everybody's home. So it's a good size in that it would definitely attract attention any place it's at. But you can hang it over almost any sofa in any house or in the living room, family room, wherever you want to put something like this. A neat, neat piece for sure. Next to this is another Sandra McAllister piece, Sandy McAllister, titled Silent Charms. We believe these are old calendar tops that she found a bunch of and mounted it as a single collage, and kind of fun. That video might not be able to air anywhere, but we'll find out. We've already done a separate video on the neon. It obviously looks better in a dark room, so we had to do that then. Also has an old transformer on it, so it gets a little loud. This here's another neon. We have a transformer for it, but it's not hooked up, and we are not qualified or going to even try and figure out how to hook that up because I don't want to do anything foolish. But it's a neat, the chalk line cutout. Somebody's have some fun with that. A couple more things to talk about here. Here's some Paulina Everett's on board. A lot of them have labels on the back. This here is a neat, interesting piece. The Leo Hess Leo Haas folio of concentration camp images for 1947, and we believe it's a full book. I gotta make sure I don't rip it or anything, but a lot of interesting images, and again, hard to find a complete set, and this appears to be complete, so pretty excited to offer that. Last big piece here is another Michael Randall from 1977, an earlier piece of his. Looks like basketballs. Just a really fun piece, and again, a good size without being so big you can't use it in a lot of places. Great for a sports bar, great for your man cave, great for the rec room, places like that. Just a neat piece, including this some really great paper pieces in these Alfred Frew lino cuts are of famous people of the day. They're so stylized and so interesting that were conditions a little rough on them, but they're just really graphic images. And it's kind of hard to believe they're from the 1930s and 40s. They look like something that had been made much later than that. But he was kind of a trendsetter in that way. Pretty exciting to offer those. There are a lot of John Pushchek pieces in the auction, including this little watercolor right here. John and Bruce were really good friends, obviously, based upon the amount of pieces in the auction. This is a Schneikert, Martha Schneikert, I believe is her first name. And several pieces by her in the auction. There's not much information about her online. Thankfully, we know her name. This is like the first recognition she's ever had. Going to step back here to this other table that has just a couple of little heads on it. Alan Winkler, who we've already seen other pieces in this auction from him today, did ceramics, and these are his as well. This one is not signed. It looks like Marge Simpson's sister, but it's not signed anywhere. This one's also been damaged and restored. I still want to offer it, but these two here are both in perfect shape, and again, just the scale for these sculptures is really kind of wonderful. Not sure who they're supposed to be, if they're supposed to be anybody in particular, but they're just really fun pieces, and we're excited to offer them along with the other Winkler pieces in the auction. Winkler's had a lot of success and notoriety and acclaim in the last couple of years. We're excited to offer many of his pieces in this auction.